What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Custer Gray here from Anime Escape with another What If Wednesdays, Marvel What If. Today's episode is hilarious to me. So it is What If Thor was an only child. So off gate, it's a funny scenario, but somehow he still learns his lesson. So episode starts off with Jane Foster and Darcy in the desert, studying anomalies and whatnot. They don't have the doctor with them like the movie, so it's just them. Damn. So Darcy throwing peanuts in the cup. She gets an alert. She tells Jane Foster. Jane Foster's on her phone trying to contact Shield. Shield's like, nope. Click. So she calls somebody else, and next thing you know, see a beam of light come down, but instead of landing in the desert, it lands in Las Vegas. So then all you see is like Thor and the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif, and like the outline is Thor is like, people, or I forgot what he said, but he's pretty much like, it's time to party because you're with the party prince. So then we get the story of, what if Thor didn't have a brother, and it gives the pretty much the reason how he doesn't have a brother. So instead of Odin taking Loki with him, Odin gave Loki back to the Frosters, which created peace, and Thor was raised by pretty much by himself. Cool. So then it cuts to, if I remember correctly, it kind of cuts to Thor and Freyga watching Odin go into the Odin sleep. So once Odin goes into the Odin sleep, Freyga's like, he sleep? Alright, bet. I'm going to my sister's house. They got a little shindig. Go in the store. You study. You're supposed to study to be a king, and everything like that. I'm gonna be gone. Heimdall's gonna be watching you. And it saddens me because Idris Elba isn't voicing Heimdall. Heimdall just does that the entire time. So that saddened me a little bit, but I can understand. Can't pay everybody to be the same voices. So Thor comes up with his plan to sneak off with Sif and the Warriors 3 to a unknown planet that Heimdall isn't going to be watching because nothing really happens there. So they choose Midgard. Then it cuts to them sneaking in, grabbing mead, drinking mead, like them sneaking out pretty much. And then again it cuts to Midgard. And let me tell you right now, the people he has with him on Midgard, it's just Yondu, the Skrulls, the Executioner, Drax, Mantis, Rocket Raccoon, Nebula. It's just ridiculous amount of people. Grandmaster, the Bodyguard, Valkyrie, Meek, what's his name? Korg. Like, just all of them are there. Howard the Duck. Like, Jane Foster and Darcy pulls up and they was like, okay, the first one to pull that landed here was him. And like Thor surrounded by Skrull, and he was like, you turning me, you turning me, you turning me. He was like, oh, all of you are great. He's like, it's just beautiful. So Jane walks up to Thor, introduces herself, pretty much asks him about a planet that was destroyed, and Darcy gets introduced, pretty much talks to Howard Duck, and they want to go on a date. Then the chaos ensues after that. And I don't even know how to properly say it. It's just legit chaos. So the whole time after Jane meets Thor, it goes from Darcy getting married to Howard the Duck, which is blowing my mind, Nebula gambling, Grandmaster eating cake, Um, 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 I can't remember it all. It's gonna come to me in a second, I swear. But it was just like ridiculous. It was just like Hangover, but for like, but less violent, like and less like people missing and stuff like that. It was insane. Like I don't understand it. Like it was crazy. Like Thor is like the ultimate party god. He is no longer the god of thunder. He's a party god now. So he's just partying. So he tells Jane about a story where one of the Warriors 3 got so drunk he wound up in a bed of goats. So he was like, I named it Gary. You know, what the fuck is happening? And it's just like, this is just ridiculous. Like, what the hell is happening? So, it's a lot. Like, it's so much to process. It's literally like a lot. So, it's just ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Like, this episode was just ridiculous. It was funny, extremely funny, but ridiculous. Between Nebula gambling, oh yeah, they went to a club. Grandmaster DJ the club, and it was like the funniest moment. He's like, and it's like, oh, hold on, release the phone, and it's just like, it's just ridiculous. Like, oh my gosh, it was just crazy. Like, Grandmaster DJing, Nebula gambling, is it Volstagg? Volstagg doing like the water jetpack thing. Drax and Valkyrie drinking. Like I already said, Howard, Doug, and Darcy get married. Oh yeah, Thor and Jane get matching like tattoos. Jane has magic. Thor's has science. It's just ridiculous. And then it literally cuts to like a hangover scene. Like everyone's passed out everywhere. Like it's ridiculous. Like the funniest thing was one of the Warriors 3 has like a blanket of possums on him, and then Get Raccoon is in the sink. Like what the fuck is going on? But the whole time everyone's passed out. Jane Foster is like getting a call on her phone, cell phone, room phone, just everything. Next thing you know, on her door, boom, boom, boom. Jane Foster opened up his shield. So now she's like, oh, I'm too drunk for this. So they go to her and she was like, you said that you called us. There was an alien or not. What the hell? What the fuck? I didn't like that. So they were saying like, you said that there was an alien present, extraterrestrial threat, this, and this. You know, you need to come with us so we can eliminate it. And she was like, well, he's not really a threat. You know, he's just a goofball. You know, he likes to party. He's cool. So, and then Agent Hill was like, do you know why I'm the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. now? So, funny part is, so Nick Fury was at one of the parties, and he's trying to talk, like he's trying to be diplomatic and serious. So he's like, hey, this may be your party, but this isn't your planet. We need to talk. And as, you know, he's trying, like talking past the guards to get to Thor, Korg comes out of nowhere. He's like, cannonball! And he just like knocks Nick Fury off to the distance and cannonballs. And it's funny because they were like, Jane Foster was like, is he okay? And Maria Hill was like, he's still knocked out. So yeah. So it's hilarious. It's just I don't know why this episode is so damn hilarious, but it's funny as hell. So they get her, they get Darcy, they take them back to the helicarrier. So, you know, they're like, you know, we're scanning his area, this, scanning this, scanning that. He's already gone. And Jane's like, what? He's gone? Did he leave a note? She was like, wait. I mean, you know, he's you know, just, you know, coordinates and stuff. And Darcy's just talking. She's just like, real smooth. Thanks. Sarcasm. It's just beautiful. So apparently Thor has been partying so much and bringing everyone from the 9 realms and space and stuff to Earth to party, and it's causing mass pandemonium, destruction, and everything. So, Maria Hill, I think she said something, and she was like, "Well, this isn't the first time we deal with extraterrestrials," and pulls out a suitcase. Rumlow, Crossbones, he's still there. So it's like, this is the first time. Like, this isn't the first time we dealt with extraterrestrials. So they pull out a suitcase, and the Captain Marvel beeper is there. The whole time, Darcy is like one of the funniest people in this whole episode, because she just doesn't know when to stop talking. So Maria Hill grabs the beeper, activates it, and she's like, "It's done." And Darcy is like, "Did it happen? Did it happen already? Did it happen?" Like, so then it cuts to Thor. I think he's in like Rome or something. I can't tell. And then he has the people who made Adam Warlock in the actual Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They're there. And like Sif and one of the Warriors 3 runs up. "He's here. They're here. They're here." We're thinking it's whoever she summoned, but it's Loki. King Loki. And like 5 or 6 ice giants. And they like walk up to each other. They spit an insult at each other. And then they just like dap each other up like they're boys. I'm like, okay, so no matter what happens, they're friends. No matter what they do, like they're friends. So they come to the party, all this above. They start talking, chatting, everything like that. Then Thor was like, "Oh, look, a shooting star. Look, make a wish, Loki." And he was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll make a wish." And like the whole time the stars just like zooming in. And he was like, "Well, tell me what it is." And he was like, "I can't tell you because that would ruin the magic." And next you know, boom, Captain Marvel's there. And she was like, "Yeah, you guys need to leave because it's nice that you guys having a party and everything, but you got to go." And Thor was like, "I don't want to go. This is my party. This is my place. I don't want to go. This place is fun." So she punches him, and then all hell breaks loose. So she punches him. He gets back up. I think he throws his hammer. No, he does throw the hammer. She punches him. I think she punches him actually twice. And then he gets up, takes his hammer, throws it into her. She crashes into a building. She comes back out. He summons his hammer back to him. He throws the hammer. She dodges it slightly. It's like, what is it? Like, he's like, boomerang hammer. I was like, he's a child. He's a man child. It's just ridiculous. So, oh yeah, before that, it was like, "Ma'am, there's a word on earth that they call females like you." And I'm like, "Dang, man." He was like, "Party pooper." And I was like, "Bruh, like, you are a man child to the fullest extent." So they get to battling and stuff. They actually are like knocking each other from country to country to country to country. And like, finally, Thor winds up hitting her back to the party, and then like plops Mjolnir on her, and was like, "You're a party pooper, and you need a timeout." And he was like, "What?" He was like, "That's something my mother told me what I used to do. Never really liked him, but you need one." And he just leaves the hammer on her for a little bit, and then goes parties, and then comes back later and gets the hammer, or summons the hammer to him. And then it's funny because like it cuts to Maria. No, before that, there's some details in the fight I didn't say. So he knocks her to Stonehenge, and she like knocks down one of the boulders or whatever. She catches it and puts it back, and he's there. And she was like, "You better not knock it down." And he's like, "I'm sorry, I just got a little tap," and just destroys the whole thing. So then she knocks him. They knock each other back and forth. Then it goes to where he leaves her, and then everything like that. So cuts to Maria Hill, and Maria Hill is chewing her out, like chewing Captain Marvel out, and it is funny as hell. And it was funny because like Nick Fury said, "Your punches are like nuclear warheads and stuff like that," and she's like, "Look, if I use my full power on this planet, I'm gonna leave a giant crater, no matter what it is." So Darcy is like, "Wait, she's like, "Oh, look at you. Okay, all right. You have a." He was like, "You have a cat? What's your cat's name?" He was like, "Goose." "Goose, Top Gun. You like that? You're Maverick." I'm like, everyone's like, "Darcy, chill." And like Darcy's like, "You need a cat sitter, sidekick." And Captain Marvel was like, Darcy, you're at an 8. I need you at a 4. Like, that's the funniest thing ever. So then Jane Foster gets a call from Thor. Thor actually is interested in Jane Foster, like in the movies. So he's talking to her, saying he wants to meet up with her and everything like that again. So once he gets off the phone with him, Captain Maria Hill is talking to Captain Marvel and saying, well, where would you go to use your full power? And they were like Siberia or something like that. And Darcy was like, South Dakota? Or North Dakota? And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, it was like, what the fuck is wrong with Darcy? And it's beautiful because she's voiced by the same exact person. So I love it. It's like, okay. So then they come up with a plan where they can take him into a deserted location. She can use her full power on Thor. So that way, you know, they can get him out of the picture and everything like that. So, I think... what happened? I've been laughing so much in this episode. It's ridiculous. So, they kick Jane and Darcy out of S.H.I.E.L.D. Then Howard the Duck. He was like, oh, look at you, Miss the Duck. I almost... what the hell is wrong? Jane get calls from... was it from Thor again? No, it's from Loki. And Loki's trying to do a double date and everything. And she's like, I need to talk to Thor. And he's like, oh no, you can talk to me. And he drops the phone and breaks it. And right now, like in this episode, he's like a 20-foot giant. So when he drops the phone, it's kaput. He's like, okay. So she's like, Jane's like, oh, that's right. So if Thor is the real Thor, then there's got to be an Odin, a Frigga, and a Heimdall. So they come up with a plan to rework their technology to broadcast out to get Heimdall's attention. So I think while that's happening, did they start the fight yet? No, I don't think they started the fight yet, but like, it's like so much chaos going on. So like, Loki's ice giants are tearing up her Ferris wheel. Surtur, the fire god, he like destroys the Statue of Liberty. They're like, Loki's just defacing the was it the monuments with the heads? I can't think of it. And then it's like, cuts to Thor, and he's in Australia on a bridge. They're all partying on a bridge. He's like, you want to see me jump off that, or dive off that, or slide down there? And they're like, yeah. So he like flies over there, and next you know, Captain Marvel takes him and just flies him off, and everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, and then like, I guess everyone goes back to partying. So then it cuts to Darcy and Jane building a device, calling out to Heimdall. Heimdall heals her and summons her. So then once Heimdall summons her, and she's like, hi Heimdall, it's about Thor, and he's in trouble and this, and Heimdall's like, ugh, and sends her to Frigga, and Frigga's like there, and she's like, she's there, and she's like, hi, Miss Odin's wife, it's about Thor. I forgot what she said. Is that Chardonnay? She was like, a variety, yes. So I was like, how are you casual with just a human being summoned in front of you? Cut back to Captain Marvel and Thor. They finally get to the like ice barren location where they're about to fight. So secretly Maria Hill, and I see why everyone hates Maria Hill no matter what universe. So she summons nukes, like wants to drop nukes on not Jane Foster, but Captain Marvel and Thor. And like everyone was like, but what about Captain Marvel? She's like, she'll be fine. And they're like doing a countdown, and it's like it's edging close and close and closer and closer and closer. So as it gets down to like 2, like no, it gets down to 1, and I'm sorry, I'm so laid back. I gotta be relaxed for this episode. So it gets down to 1, and next thing you know, they're about to charge each other, and boom, projection of Frigga. Thor, son of Odin, such and such, Prince of Asgard. What are you doing on Midgard? I thought you were studying. He was like, oh, mother, hi, yes, Midgard, no, I'm in my room. What are you referring to? I'm not on Midgard. And then like a bear, like a polar bear comes over the door and roars. She's like, oh, Earth, Earth. Yeah, that's where a lot of the locals call it. Me and a couple of people are doing a foreign exchange study. And she was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. For exchange. I said, okay. I expect the syllabus when I get there. Boom. And he's like, no. And he's like, please help me. My mother is coming. And Jay Fox from Captain Marvel was like, my suggestion is start from the corner and work your way out. And then she just flies off. And he was like, the corner. But this is a sphere. It's like, what the fuck is happening with this episode? So, Maria Hill calls off the nukes. Ruffalo was like, we never launched the nukes. And then, like, Thor goes back to Australia and was like, Loki, my mother's coming. And he was like, and? He was like, we need to help clean this up. He was like, I ain't cleaning this up shit. Just like, he was like, but my mother is angry. He was like, yeah, but I'm your brother from another mother. Bye. He's like, Ice Bros, out. And they just dip. So then he's like telling everyone, he was like, my mother's coming. We need to clean this place up. We need to fix it. All of it. And then like Drax just out of nowhere, like you see him like maybe twice, and this is like the second time you see him in the episode. He was like, you're a part of poop. You're a party poop. No, he said you were partying the pooper or something like that. He was like, now who's pooping the party? Who's pooping the party? And they like all go. And like Thor looks at his hammer and he's like, oh, Father, give me strength. And he just flies in the air and he like yells at everyone. He's like, my mother Frigga is coming. She is very unhappy. Everyone was like, oh shit. So like everyone, boom, around the world start cleaning up. Like the ice giants put the Ferris wheel back. Surtur like welds the Eiffel Tower's arm, not the Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty's arm back on. Like even like the Leaning Tower of, was it Pisa? Like was leaning. It wasn't even burned. It wasn't even. Thor was like, nope, just in case. And then, like he's getting there, he's scrubbing stuff off, and you see Frigga like coming through the Bifrost, like beaming, and she's like zooming, and Thor is just scrubbing the shit out of something. So she lands, and Thor is like there, and even my wife said this is ridiculous. Like as a parent, because we're about to be parents. Like even though I've never been a parent, I've worked with after-school programs, summer camps, all the above. It was too calm. Like, I would have been like, y'all niggas is motherfucking wild and y'all, nah. So, like, he's like, book in hand, grown-ass folks sitting down Indian style in front of him with chalkboards. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Quit lying. Just stop lying. So, he was like, oh, yes, your mother. Look. Yeah, teaching. Ah, wonderful. He was like, what have we learned in class? Was it learning is magic? Ah, yes. And it's, just looking at him, he's like, what, mother? We're really learning. And save his ass. Barely. Captain Marvel comes zooming in. And was like, Thor, yes. Here's the tablet with all the information that you need about the exchanges and things of that nature. I'll talk to you next time about even more. So yeah, thank you. And Thor was like, such a small device to hold so much information. Thank you. And she's like, hi. I'm Miss Frigga. I'm Captain Marvel. She's like, I've heard great things about you when you were teaching my son a few lessons. And then she flies off. So they go back. They go back home. They go back to Asgard. So they go back to Asgard. It cuts to Jane in the same exact desert, and Thor pops up. He knocks on the door and hands her flowers. And he pretty much asks her on a date. And she agrees. And this threw me off so bad. He was like, I know a whole world where it's like nothing but unicorns. They're the waiters, they're the butlers. I was like, whoa. Put a pin in it. I don't want no part of that. Like, I don't want no part of that. A full world of functioning unicorns walking up like me and you talking? I'm good. No part. I don't want no part of that. No, I'm good. So, she agrees to the date and everything like that. And says Thor walks off. And the Watcher's like, and everything ends happily? Like, what? What the? And then he's like, oh no. And he turns around and it's like a swarm, like a portal opens and a swarm of Ultron robots come out. And he was like, maybe I've spoken too soon. And then next thing you know, you see Ultron with like like 4 in his chest, 1 is his like belt buckle, and then you're like, oh god, where's the last one? And then like the Ultron helmet opens in his vision, and he has the Mind Stone. I'm like, oh shit! So that's how the episode ends. So yeah, it was just that last part was actually pretty intense because I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, who's next? What's next? Like, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Stay true, stay savage, people, and I'm out. Bye.